herself. I'm learning.
Oh yeah, it's a tall one.
It is
the oracle, the
but
digital oracle.
I've gotten to now.
The fellow Ochanyawa Madam Speaker. Okurora one will soon join them.
That's like 10. So I've gotten to. Welcome, Abuja. Good afternoon. This is the voice of Radio's finest, Gabriel Spector, and I'm excited to be back at work.
All right. I am not going to take on that today because our guest has been waiting for a bit to join us for our conversation today. We're going to start off as usual looking at some of the big stories driving conversation in the country, and then at the 4 o'clock hour we'll take on something kind of like a heart-to-heart, as former President Goodluck Jonathan did say something about, and he's not the first, he's not the second. I doubt it's going to be the last time he's going to use the public forum to say we should have Nigerians should start resisting bad politicians, and perhaps maybe in future would have a building that would act like, hall of shame and all of that. So we'll be talking about that. I mean, if we were to play with the idea to start putting labels and say this is a politician who ruled the country, whose call would it be to label one a bad politician? Is it based on the court, the individual, the media? I don't know. We'll talk about that at the 4 o'clock hour. And then we'll be talking with some Nigerians in the diaspora, specifically Dubai. Now, a good number of them have been complaining of not having their work permit for a while, and all of the diplomatic umpers that is going on between both countries is frustrating Nigerians who are in the country at the moment. Hopefully, we'll have Pastor TJ and a few others join us for that conversation. But for the big three, we've got with us, joining us virtually, and you can go check him out on YouTube and Facebook. Our Facebook is at Nigeria Info Abuja, and YouTube is at Nigeria Info Abuja. We have Comrade Igbini Emmanuel Odafe. He is the National President, Vanguard for Transparent Leadership and Democracy. He'll be helping us wade through the big stories of today. Comrade, good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to Nigeria Info. Hello, just to be sure, Comrade, that you can hear us. If do we have our Comrade on? All right, I think his line has not been patched through. Let's get to find out why that is. All right, Comrade, just to let you know that you're muted. If you can hear us, you're muted. So please unmute yourself and let's hear what you have to say. So while Comrade is trying to navigate where the unmute button is, let's get... Yes, I have. Let's get started with some of the big story. Well, a sad one coming from Zamfara State, where we had the report of the accident which involved the executive governor of the state, and he's receiving treatment at the hospital at the moment, interstate travel. And I don't have all the details just yet as to how the accident happened, but it did happen in Nigeria while he was traveling, and he's receiving treatment at this point in time. So we send him love and light and hope he pulls through it and recovers quickly. Left for us to establish, were they driving fast? Was the road bad? I mean, these are some of the things Nigerian motorists grapple with. It's not every day that you get to hear government official and executive governor caught in this sort of situation. But we wish him a quick recovery, whatever the situation is. All right, Comrade, we are still waiting. Let's give Comrade 30 seconds to see if we can sort out whatever the challenge is at the moment. All right, I want to believe it's a lot better this time around. Comrade has sorted whatever challenge he was grappling with. Comrade, good afternoon and welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can. It's a lot better now. I was getting confused at 1 second why your line was muted. Thank you so much, sir, for joining the show.
Thank you very much, Comrade, for having me.
All right, then. So let's get started with some of the stories that we're looking at today in the federal capital. And I know it's one that my colleague Gabriel followed with some interest. It's retired police officers protesting in Abuja, and they had so much to say about poor welfare and the contributory pension scheme, which quite a number of them are saying that what they get every month is not even enough to take care of them. And we're talking about retired people who have served the country. And you can just imagine after retirement, every month you get something like 40,000. It depends on what level you're retired on. The pay is something that they say can barely even buy their medicine if any of them is grappling with health or keep them going at the end of the month. And they're at this point in time saying, see, get us off the contributory pension fund. It's not helping our situation. And why is the police the only people there when the other military and are not captured in it, when they risk their life, put their lives on the line also? So it's a general case of their welfare. And they did go to the police headquarters, from there to the National Assembly to protest all of this. Gabriel, do you have something to ask before I ask Comrade my question?
No, please go ahead.
All right. So, Comrade, I mean, it's a time to lend one's voice also to the plight, not just of those who are serving as police officers, but then also to looking at those who have done their time, 35 years or more, and are retired. Do you think if we continue to see people out on the street protesting, like, retired police officers, that it would affect the morale and perhaps morale of the police officers and even future recruitment? Like someone like, why would I want to join the police? I don't get paid very well while I'm on the job. I don't get, compensated properly after the job. Why would I want to join that to serve the country?
Well, you said it all, Comrade. What more do I need to add?
I asked the question, Comrade. That's not saying it all. So there's plenty for you to ask.
It is very, very disheartening. It is very, very disheartening. Most times we treat men and women we see in uniform or any other security agency as if they are aliens. Most of these people are our brothers, sisters, mothers, husbands, and wives. And very, 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 very. I was in the military and I retired. But you have very, very intelligent police of ours who decided to have in the police.
Hello, Comrade. With the connection between us, I don't know, it's really poor. People can barely make out what you're saying at this point. Are you using any form of earpiece or something? Maybe something that would...
Yes.
Could you just not use that, and let's see if it's going to improve the quality a bit?
Okay.
Hello?
Is it better?
Oh, this is 100% better. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. The point I'm trying to make is that it depends on us, Nigerians who are not serving in any of the security agencies in this country. The way we treat our fellow brothers and sisters, fathers, mothers, husbands, and wives who decided to join the Nigerian police force or any of the armed forces determines how the end of. In fact, this matter is so dear to me because I had a friend. I say I had because he's late now. He used to be CP Isa Tahiru. Every time he would bring this matter to me, in fact, he fought so hard for this issue. And I promised him that I was going to get in touch with my friends who are in the National Assembly. And I did. What I found out is that in the case of the Nigerian Police Force, any officer who is not up to the rank of AIG is now treated differently in this manner that you are seeing. But once you succeed in becoming an AIG, DIG, and IGP, the way they treat them is different. They don't have this issue. It is from CP down. And I kept asking the question, why? What is clear is that certain persons who are in charge of managing these funds the Nigeria Police Force pension fund, they are not being sincere to even their colleagues. So it has nothing to do with the National Assembly, as a matter of fact. The problem is between the Nigerian Police Force and the IGP knows. I'm not talking about Ugotekun. I'm talking about the IGPs, former and present. They know where the problem is, and they know that the problem is within them and the pension managers, whatever they call themselves. Is it fair? Should we allow our officers and men to go on the street in protesting, and yet we expect those who are serving to serve with all their heart and patriotically? The answer is no. And it's very, very dangerous for the security and peace of this beloved country. Your security, my brother's security, and the security of hundreds of millions of Nigerians are at stake if we allow this kind of a thing to happen and continue to happen. Okay? This same thing happened in the armed forces, and they protested. Remember last year, around December? Yes, retired army officers and other ranks had to go and protest to the office of the Minister of Finance. It took the intervention of the president for that matter to be resolved. Why? And some persons who don't contribute meaningfully to the development, security, and peace of this country, we here have the loot the resources of this beloved country. Are we not threatening our own national security by this kind of behavior? Something must be done. If the president is commander-in-chief of the armed forces, he should take this matter very, very seriously. Any attempt to look down on members of the Nigerian police force, you don't see the military. If the police decide to withdraw their services, then we are finished. How many are there in the Nigerian armed forces? How many? They are overstretched. So we must be careful what we do. So this thing has nothing to do with National Assembly, really. Going to the National Assembly to protect, just probably putting pressure on them. It's okay. Mr. President of the Senate and Mr. Speaker of the House of Rep, please exercise your constitutional power under Section 88. Power to investigate. And then summon, the IGP and others. This is purely a police affair. And the IGP must ensure that he does.
It might go beyond the police affairs, because if there's any one out in terms of the contributory pension form, it might come from sort of legislation also. But let's go on a quick break, comrade.
This is not just a debate. It's a battle of minds. Champion. One true champion will rise. The regional champions are ready. The stage is set. The stakes higher than ever before. Catch the I Beg to Differ National Finals live on all Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM stations nationwide. It's intellect, it's passion, it's the future in action. Debate redefined. The IBTD National Tournament begins August 11th, 2025. Only on Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM nationwide. For sponsorship, call 0805-581-5844 or email ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
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 Nigeria Info.
the retired police officers and see how they can resolve all of this. And Comrade, I'll pick you up on this. Do you think we are going to have like a healthy resolve if the IGP does meet with them, or it's just going to be one of those ploy in Nigeria where there's a conversation, there's a meet down, there's an agreement, and 2-3 months later they are back on the street protesting again? You think this is going to be different this time around?
Honestly, Comrade, the current IGP has both moral and constitutional duty to put an end to this continued embarrassment and suffering of his colleagues. You know, normally by the provision of the Constitution, he's a retired police officer, even though his tenure has been extended. So you understand that he has to fix the system before leaving. You know, like I said, I understand why there's this discrimination, that those who are AIGO to IGP, they are excluded from this arrangement that is causing stress to the other majority, because those who fall into this category that are affected, of course, they constitute more than 98%. How many in every set of police officers? How many will be IGP? Only one. How many will be DIG? Maybe about 6 of them. How many will be AIG? Probably 2 or 3 times that number. So the rest you are talking about hundreds of thousands, and we are counting not more than probably 20. I mean, so what the percentage is very infinitesimal in mass. So you can say that the entire Nigerian police force is now treated, dehumanized in this manner after serving for 35 years. Many of them risk their life. Many of them die in the process. When I had the opportunity of being in government, let me share something.
Okay.
Because we still also don't understand why certain things happen. When I was in government, privileged to be in certain positions, by virtue of my position and the nature of my job, I was 2 policemen armed 24 hours, they were with me. For me, I treated them as fellow Nigerians. Wherever I'm going to, if I'm traveling out of Delta State to any other state, if I'm able to afford a Nikon Nuga heating suit, I will make sure that there's reserved for 2. Any of them going out with me must be in the next room, either opposite my room or the room beside mine. But I've also seen some people in government who also have this privilege of having police officers attached to them. If you see the way they treat this police officer, you weep for this country. You weep. Imagine maybe a certain political office holder or a so-called politician or so-called big man somewhere or big woman. You are traveling. Then when you get to your destination, you book for hotel for yourself, and your police, oddly, or whoever among them who escorted you, they will just be sleeping in their cars. If you go with a backup, they sleep like, you know. So this behavior is bad. And that is why we are getting the kind of thing that we are getting. And this treatment for anybody within the Federal Republic of Nigeria in position of authority to allow this set of people to be treated in this manner after 35 years of service, it is unfair. Do you also know that some of these Nigerians who decide to serve our country, when they are tied to some politically exposed person or even some businessmen, you know that, of course, many of them have lost their life, because the first target is if you are protecting a so-called big man or a so-called big woman, whoever is coming after that person targets the police men or women attached to that person, and they first of all kill them because they want to disarm in order to get their target. And these are the people, there's some of them, when they survive and serve for 35 years, we treat them like this. It is not fair. So the IGP must take this thing very, very seriously. He must set a record. It must be that he has broken the jinx. That discrimination, that dichotomy, how they arrive at that is okay. Once you are not IGP, you are treated differently.
All
It's
right.
not fair.
Thank you very much, Comrade. Let's go to the next one because we're pressed for time. But let's look at the update with Natasha or the Senate versus Natasha at this point in time. The Senate, sometime back, it was saying that Natasha cannot resume until they see the certified true copy. I've gone through that hurdle, and now they're saying, Natasha, don't be in a hurry, because she's saying she's going to resume on Tuesday as the court has given her the go-ahead. And the Senate is saying, is that what the court did? Or the court gave more of an advisory saying that they should reconsider her suspension and all of that, but not mandating the National Assembly or the Senate to allow her resume at the moment. But let's get the update from Gabriel.
Hello?
All right, let's just look at the update. Forgive me for 1 minute. Natasha says she's going to resume plenary on Tuesday. That she will resume in on Tuesday, the 22nd of July, in line with court decision, despite an appeal by Senate President Godswill Akpabio challenging the ruling. And in an interview with her in her constituency for a training on Saturday, she said she's written to the Senate to formally announce her return, and she got like pretty much 2 months before the 6 month expire. However, she's written to the Senate. But we're getting from the Senate is saying, don't be in a hurry to rush back, because we haven't recalled you yet. We haven't asked that you resume yet. Your suspension is still on. And the court has not compelled us in its position and its ruling to ensure that you resume, but then advise that we consider, some of our procedures and bring you back on board. So the big question is, if Natasha insists that she's going to resume, or should she go back to the court to get better clarification from the court as to what it is? Because the court's position isn't one that mandates the Senate to have her resume immediately, but does advise to a certain degree. It's a story I'm sure you've been following with some interest, and we're curious to know what your position is on this.
Thank you very much. You are very correct. I've been following this unfortunate story right from the day the news broke. And I've been very, very consistent. There are certain things I would not want to say in public, but those who know. When my sister, Senator Natasha, went first on after the showdown that she staged in the National Assembly in the Senate, she went on a TV station and then she said so many things, and I was like, wow. First of all, my sister, there are certain things you don't come to the public to say, even though if they are true. You are a married woman. To tell Nigerians how you and the President of the Senate some time ago had a nice time, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no, she didn't at any point say they had a nice time. She said the Senate President made attempt on her.
I'm not referring to nice time as in having any sexual.
It can be misconstrued, sir.
That's what I'm trying. When I say nice time, with me, good relationship.
I see.
They've been friends. They've been friends right from when they said he was a minister, family friend, and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And to the extent that he went to launch his new guest house, and then man and woman, we understand what we call communication. When you see a man and a woman, the way they communicate, how far. But that's not the issue. The issue is that whatever personal differences they had has nothing, let me repeat myself, to do with the National Assembly. I keep telling my friends who are even very senior lawyers to say, look, I know that there's a difference between what we call privilege and a right. A privilege can never, 1 million privilege can never equate to a right. So don't mix the two. If outside the Senate, they have good relationship as family members, and then the President of the Senate decides to say, okay, this is my family member, we're all good born family, and decided to use his constitutional privilege as the President of the Senate to do you favor by appointing you into a critical, that committee, and committees that are very juicy. One of them is this local content. I know what I'm talking about because I have friends.
Comrade, that is not what we're looking at the moment, because that is that one is dated. The latest is that the Senate is saying that Natasha should desist from forcefully resume her legislative duties on Tuesday, which she says she's going to do. And we're asking, should she resume or go back to court?
Comrade, you know why when you go to court and you have a matter before the court is interested in laying the proper foundation. If you have an evidence that will compel the court to listen to you and to deliver judgment in your favor, you must do what we call properly laying the foundation. Otherwise, that evidence will not be admitted in law. All these things we are talking about, my sister, we know within day. That's why I say there's a difference between privilege and a right, constitutionally speaking. Now, let me refer you, if you want me to quote the law, let me refer you to section 60 of the Nigerian Constitution. And it says, if you don't mind, I can read it verbatim. Section 60 of the Nigerian Constitution says that what? Subject to the provision of this Constitution, the Senate or the House of Representatives shall have power to regulate its own procedure, including procedure for summoning and recess of the House. What I'm trying to say is that there's a standing order of the Senate. Now, the court is a judicial arm of government, just like the National Assembly. They're independent. But since they both have submitted before the court and the court has directed, now I have said that this thing is better resolved away from the court. These are matters that should...
So away from the court, are you saying she should just apologize and we get this over and done with? Would that resolve it?
About apology. What I'm just telling you is that the both of them, and this is what I have told, I've said it, she's on the forum that we both belong to. Okay? And I've made it clear, this is not a matter that should have gone to court in the first place. Never. Not all matters are resolved through the court. This is one of such matters. Two family members, friends of the same family friends. The Senate President's wife confirmed to say Natasha has been a member of the family, so which is not enabled. What is that they could not resolve? That they are not going to court. Let me tell you, do you know also that the National Assembly has the constitutional right to appeal that judgment? And if they decide to appeal that judgment, I am telling you that my sister will be in court until the end of this 10th Senate. Quote what I'm telling you. Because they will file a stay of execution of what if there's even an order. They will file that appeal and a stay of execution. They will be the court of appeal. They can decide to delay the hearing of the matter. If anything happens, they go to the Supreme Court. I have been in court. A matter that should not take more than a year, in my case, took over 11 years until the judge unfortunately died. He could not deliver judgment. And what happened? They said the matter should start de novo. And that's how I was frustrated. So I know how the court can be used to frustrate anybody. That's why I said, why did she have to go to that extent? It's not necessary. You went to international body, you went and started addressing. You don't do that. She's not the first to be suspended. And we know how these things are settled.
All right.
It is political matter. So my advice to her, and I made it clear, and she has read me, I'm only repeating it because you're asking me, is that my sister, it is not through the court. Go back. Your husband is my brother in Warri here, Emmanuel. Call your wife. Go and meet the president. Say, you're all family members. This will just be resolved and then the next day. But she based an attempt that she wants to force herself. She cannot do it. We are not a banana republic. She cannot.
All right.
Whoever is advising her to do that does not mean well for her. I'm telling you, this is a matter that should be settled out of court. It's not supposed to be a matter before any court. Ab initio. That's my position. It has not changed.
All right. Settled out of court is what Comrade Emmanuel Odafe is saying this afternoon. All right, let's go to the next story, and we'll open up the phone lines. And one big story is that has received a lot of reactions and backlash towards what was said by the executive governor of Edo State, Monday Okpobolo. It says his recent comment, he had to explain himself, that his recent comment about the visit of Peter Obi, presidential candidate in the Labour Party's election in the presidential election of 2023, that his visit to the state was a threat. During a public event in Edo on Friday, Pueblo warned Obi not to come to the state again without security clearance. The Edo governor claimed that Obi's recent visit to the state coincided with the killing of 3 people. However, in a statement on Sunday, Fred Itwa, the chief press secretary to the governor, quoted Pueblo as having said that his comment was meant to highlight the security protocol for politicians during the visit. Pueblo said his comment should not be twisted for political mileage by individuals seeking to score cheap points. It's imperative to state clearly that the governor did not issue any threat or any form of threat to Peter Obi, but rather emphasized the need for high-profile individuals, particularly politically exposed persons, to notify and seek security clearance from the governor before embarking on any public appearance within the state. That as the chief security officer of Edo State, is the governor's constitutional responsibility to safeguard the lives and property of all residents and visitors alike. And this duty includes ensuring that adequate security measures are put in place during high-profile visits or events that might attract or may attract large crowd or media attention. When such protocols are ignored, it creates serious security vulnerability, not only for the visitors, but also for citizens who may be caught in avoidable threat. That the governor's position in particularly relevant in light of the rising attacks and abduction of religious leaders, especially Catholic priests and Christian clerics in the state. So they try to explain what it is, or might sort of manage the situation, seeing that the reaction has generated perhaps a lot of backlash for the governor, who a lot of people felt like he's trying to encroach into someone's fundamental space, a right to gather, right to movement, and or whatnot, by putting that out and giving the impression that Peter Obi coming into the state would lead to a breakdown of law and order. That's how it was interpreted. I know it brings this question of how, you know, our political figure should balance security concern with respect for democratic norms, because you can actually cross a line in which a lot of Nigerians, going by their reactions, are saying a line has been crossed by putting it that way. And we know that the Edo State governor is not the first. The Benue State governor also did issue a similar kind of quote-unquote warning to Peter Obi, and it feels like what exactly is going on? Do people not have a right to this sort of movement? And perhaps what does this protocol entail? See the governor, involve the police, or I'll be in your state, or I'm going to visit an IDP camp, or do I have an all clear or not? And would he get an all clear? Would there be a point where, I mean, we had in Bayelsa State where the minister of the FCT wanted to visit there for political reasons, and they were saying you can't come to the state at the moment because we don't want the drama to spill over to our state. And it's also a curious one, Comrade, that 1 minute in the height of insecurity, you get to hear some governors, I mean, we've heard it from Katsina State and Zamfara State in the previous administration, say, yeah, we're technically not the chief executive officer in the sense to provide security, because the police and the military do not answer directly to us, they answer to the president. And then on the other hand, we're quick to put it that security of life and property is the responsibility of the governor. I mean, it's pick and choose at this point in time. But what do you say to this? Is the governor misconstrued, or is there any substance to it? And the explanation afterwards, do you think is enough to douse the tension around this?
That I'm very sure I'm the one who triggered all this reaction after that comment.
I pretty much doubt it, Comrade. A lot of people reacted to it almost immediately.
You see what I mean, reacting. I've been on so many forums with even very senior military officers and DIGs and the rest of them. The first thing that happened was that when he made that, the reaction that hit the social media, even the mainstream media, is an attack against the governor. That was what was trending. Oh, people, who are you to threaten? Who are you to threaten? You have issued a threat. How can he come and submit to you first? How do you expect him? He has a freedom of movement. Nigeria section 41. Freedom of movement. You cannot stop it or be blah, blah. That was what was trending. Now, when I say I triggered the other side, I was the one who came out and said no. I listened to the governors. I thought I had played over and over on different, even mainstream media. So it doesn't appear that this is social media manipulated. And I said, wait a minute. I did not hear anywhere where Governor Monday Okpebholo asked Peter Obi or any high-profile Nigerian politician to say, you must come and seek clearance from me before you enter Edo State. He never did. And that remains my position. I've received so many condemnation, all this sort. I said, but I am telling you, this is what the man said. Transcribe what he said. He said, I know that the man spoke out of anger. I said, I'm not denying that. But what he said is that, oh, Vic, next time you are coming to my state, tell me. Tell me does not mean seek. If you have worked in public service, when you say copy does not mean you are asking that person whose attention you are drawn to take action. You're only just informing the person. You say, tell me, inform me. That does not translate to mean that the governor said you must seek security clearance from me. And that is what, with due respect, certain persons decided to misinterpret, and I had to say no. If I didn't know for this your program, I was already preparing a press statement to issue to counter my senior comrade, the one I respect so much, Femi Falana SAN. He is actually the one threatening the governor. By that statement is issued, giving an ultimatum, he will not be allowed to mislead this governor. Let us not play politics here. Governor Peter Obi knows that he's no longer a small person in this country by God's grace, and I'm so happy for him. And I tell those who are supporting, I say, you are trying to belittle my brother. Today, he's not just a former governor. Peter Obi is no longer the former governor, just the former governor of Bayelsa State, Anambra State. This is a man who commands a lot of followership. My sister, am I correct? Peter Obi cannot be somebody that you just say, oh, we used to know him as our governor. No. He is now above so many of his contemporaries. Such a personality cannot visit any state without first of all, at least telling the governor of the state, the whole state, to say, my brother, they come, even if they belong to different political party. With due respect, I think Peter Obi, Your Excellency, you are not doing it right. It is not fair. Let it be on record that as you are coming, you informed the governor. Even
if he was not coming in for political reasons, for example, he was going to visit people who were displaced.
Listen, my sister, by the grace of God, I am so happy that His Excellency Peter Obi is a name, a force in the Nigerian political space today. I'm a politician. Anybody who, even a sitting president, who decides today to ignore His Excellency Peter Obi is taking a political risk. Never mind what they say, oh, this, he's a force. Because Nigerians just believe that this is a man. Many of them believe, let me not say Nigeria, some Nigerians believe that Peter Obi is a God sent to save them for what they see as gross mismanagement of our beloved country. Is it not true? He has this kind of followership. So wherever he's going to matters a lot. His security matters a lot. So if he's visiting a state, for crying out loud, he himself should inform the state government. I am very sure if he informs the state government, you see, what even one the Okpebholo has done, the governor, is that he has even taken upon himself the responsibility of securing His Excellency Peter Obi whenever he enters Edo State. If somebody is to be serious, he will pretend not to know.
All right.
You say, you didn't tell me where you entered.
Okay.
So all this attack is just people. If I have some friends who are from Edo State, their anger has nothing to do with is sincerely about Peter Obi. They are angry with Monday Okpebholo because of the internal politics that their own party, PDP or ASE, would lock to Monday Okpebholo. So you see, there are so many people with different interests hiding under the cover of to do what you create crisis.
All right,
I'm surprised that
all right, comrade.
Femi Falana will join in this kind of a thing. With due respect, it is not accepted.
All right.
The governor did not say
acceptable.
anything wrong. I did not do anything wrong, and I stand to challenge anybody to put me.
Let's get some feedback from our listener. We don't know. We're running out of time, and we need to get a few thoughts in. 0700 951 0000 or 0809 993 0137. 60 seconds only. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, and my name is Gabriel. I'm calling you from Lube.
Go ahead, Gabriel.
Please let me state categorically the one that involves the police. You see, when the protesters, the masses are protesting for the welfare of both workers and Nigerian masses, the police are there blowing tear gas on them. Not thinking that these people are there speaking for the welfare of everybody. Now that it has affected them, they are protesting. Who will stop them? Who will tear gas them? It is for the welfare. This is the masses. We are crying for good governance. When once statements are being issued for the welfare, take it serious. It is a collective effort. Number two, the issue of language of a governor. A governor should realize that he is a governor. When he speaks,
all right, sir,
both spirit and man are listening to him. When he speaks,
all right, sir,
make his intention clear.
Thank you very much.
I would like you to play that. Let us strike out a balance here and compare what your guest in the house is speaking and what.
Thank you very much. Remember, you've got 60 seconds. We have a lot of people waiting. Hello. Good afternoon.
Thank you. This is Mary from Gagalada.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I thank the last caller on the issue of police protest, retired police protest. At least they should feel a bit of what we feel when we go to protest and they come and say that. They should know that they also are inside it. We are in it together. So let them feel it. So that the ones who are still in service to learn will take a lead from there. That's about that. About Okwebolo and your guest, I don't know whether he's in studio or he's on phone, but I want to disagree with him completely. This one is damage control is trying to make. The fact that they don't hear us does not mean we are foolish. This analysis he's doing now, it doesn't mean we are stupid. That we don't have an opportunity to come as guests doesn't mean we are stupid. To come and tell us that what Okwebolo means is this. Did P2P come for campaign? Did he come for political rally? So if I want to, because it's P2P, if I want to come to a state now, do I need to go and take permission from the governor? Suppose I'm a philanthropist in my own field. Or in my own, if I want to come and do something who have been affected, do I need to go and check the governor? How many terrorists who have come to terrorize these people have told him that they are coming? And how are you coming?
All right, ma'am.
You shouldn't inform us.
All right, thank you very much, Mary.
We know what is happening, please.
Thank you very much, Mary. Let's hear another caller quickly. Hello. Good afternoon. All right, let's hear this caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, my name is Peter. I'm calling from Peter.
Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah. I want, if it is possible, please the comment of the state governor. Put it side by side with their denial or they think that their explanation. Because they didn't only, the governor did not only say P2B should take permission, he also next Sunday they'll get 3 commentaries about him, like he said, no get shishi, he gives to came before and there were people who died. And all those things, are they really compliment or that he's saying invariably that he is a man of violence? Play those things side by side so that even when the common people will know. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let's look at some comments quickly. Lola Anakwe says, I can understand, is there poor welfare issue? Does it mean they are not paid their remuneration, please? And Jay on YouTube also says, good day, please, who is your guest? What he's saying is just pro-government. Interesting. And let's see here. It's sad commentary that in this age and time, senior citizens are not giving what is due them after retiring from active duty. Not even the police officers, but every senior citizen of Nigeria. They're just not receiving good treatment, says Oludade Abiodun. Kim, your guest is not saying the absolute truth concerning Okpobolo versus Obi. Please play the tape for everyone to judge if the governor threatened Obi or not. Why was he angry? And Nemeka from Karmo says, I just thank God that some of us understand English language and we watch the video, and your guest can try as much as he can to defend his governor, but you should understand there's a difference between personal visit and political visit. I also want to ask your guest to remind us any PDP governor who stopped the now late Buhari from visiting any part of the country in 2013, 2014. Why using Buhari, given the fact that Peter Obi is not president yet? All right, Comrade, we've got about 2 minutes to respond to this before we wrap it up and go for the news. Go ahead, sir.
Well, you see, I try as much as possible not to make it personal. And I keep saying it. This is not just about Peter Obi. But let me tell my sister Mary, by the grace of God today, you are not at the same level with Peter Obi when it comes to status in this country. All fingers are not equal. So don't say you can come into my house, nobody will look at you. But Peter Obi is a big fish, I've said it. Let nobody who loves Peter Obi try to, reduce the status that is enjoyed today. It is not possible. Then my brother who talked about, let me even say something, section 215 subsection 4 of the Nigerian Constitution is very, very apt. I was even told yesterday, I got to know that people are saying that even when Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State, that he stopped El-Rufai and co, a governor, from what? In fact, that he quarantined El-Rufai and his team.
No, but isn't that context?
I don't know whether that is true.
Comrade, isn't the context also different, given the fact that there was an election underway, movement were restricted, and party activities were going on?
No, not at all. Not at all. I will not accept that. That is why I said I triggered an opposing reaction, and I maintain it. In fact, Governor Pobolo owes Peter Obi no apology whatsoever. That press statement they issued, because I was in touch with many of them, government officials in Edo State, it was not necessary because Peter Obi understands it. What we play politics with everything? This is what we call protocol. I've been in government. At a certain level, I could not move anyhow. Because they will tell you that, look, Oga, you are no longer comrade at the ordinary level. So before you move, my police will have to make sure that this place is clear. If you are not going, we'll say don't go. And you cannot. Right. That's why a government cannot just move anyhow. Peter Obi is not a small person. I'm so happy for him. Let nobody diminish him at all.
All right.
Himself, no. It is not fair for him to enter any state without at least call your brother governor. Say, my brother, the land. Finish. But for him to enter a state as if it's just an ordinary person, it's not fair. And nobody will do that to him.
Talking about fair, a lot of people are saying if you're not coming for a political rally, political gathering, isn't that a different scenario altogether? Well, Comrade, our time is up. We need to go for the news. Want to say a very big thank you.
Okay.
Comrade is the National President, Vanguard for Transparent Leadership and Democracy. Let's join Joy for the news.
Fingertips on your...
This is Nigeria Info.